Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of...
Come up with an organization called the Board of Peace, which many normal countries fear he's forming to replace the United Nations. And of course, membership isn't free to the BOP. He's charging other world leaders $1 billion apiece to join it. He had a signing ceremony today. Look how happy he is. He's like, I'll take cash.
What happens when a late-night punchline collides with a powerful last name and spirals into chaos? The moment Jimmy Kimmel casually mentioned Melania Trump, Donald Trump's reaction was as if alarms were going off. Rather than brushing it off, he stoked the fire, turning what could have been a fleeting joke into a self-inflicted spectacle. How does a simple remark snowball into headlines everywhere? And why did Kimmel walk away the winner without saying another word? This is the essence of comedy bait, where the setup, timing, and reaction do all the heavy lifting.
Melania thinks when he starts rambling on and on about this construction stuff, and last night we finally found out.
It's a massive change. The white against the white marble. The marble is being rejuvenated. They're great pieces of marble, but they've been let go and they've been tired. And I always say you can take a hundredth of an inch off of a piece of marble and you have a brand new piece of marble. Nobody does that. It's not an easy process.
Marble, he is always saying things about
Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe. You're gonna want to see how this plays out. The moment doesn't explode. It slips in quietly, like the best jokes do. With a subtle smirk, Kimmel turns the spotlight toward Melania Trump, not cruelly, but in a way that's perfectly crafted for satire. Instead of attacking, he simply observes, drawing the audience in with a quiet curiosity.
9 months that any president has ever had.
Truman ended World War II within 6 months of taking office. He's even better than that. I wish he would for once give himself some credit already. It was a parade of the unpleasant, and no one seemed to be enjoying themselves less than Melania. That is the look of...
Jimmy Kimmel never rushes his delivery. He knows the material doesn't need any force. Melania's public image carries an almost cinematic stillness that begs for examination. When someone is composed and controlled to this degree, patience becomes more powerful than pressure. Kimmel knows that sometimes silence can be sharper than noise.
Press briefing. Man, oh man, if Obama wore in a blue suit to the Pope's funeral, Sean Hannity's head would explode inside Trump's ass. The fact that he was the only person not wearing a dark suit did not go unnoticed, so the White House press secretary pushed back. She said the president looked great and presidential alongside our stunning First Lady, who was, as usual, dressed perfectly for the occasion. And she's right about Melania. I don't know about stunning, but...
In American pop culture, Melania isn't just a participant. She's a figure behind glass, flawlessly styled, perfectly lit, yet somehow distant, even when at the center of attention. Kimmel's humor plays on this separation, exploring how someone can stand in the spotlight yet remain emotionally distant. It's a curiosity, not a criticism, that forms the basis for his joke.
This tradition, except for 4 years ago when Trump refused to do it, the outgoing first couple welcomed the incoming president and first lady, which was interesting to watch. Trump actually got involved in Melania's outfit for this ceremony. A lot of people are talking about it. He told her he thought it would be super hot if she dressed like a goth Al Capone. And so she did. We found Carmen Sandiego.
The humor never seeks to attack, but instead shines a light on the strange, almost surreal nature of her role. A former First Lady who mastered being everywhere while remaining emotionally detached. Kimmel reveals this contradiction gently, marveling at how she remains poised, offering expressions that reveal nothing and everything at once. This isn't a flaw, it's a fascinating riddle, like political modern art that everyone feels must mean something, but no one fully explains.
I was reading some of the reviews of the book, and they are not excellent. Vanity Fair says Melania Trump's new book is truly bad. But what these reviewers don't realize is that it's not just a book, it's also a fragrance. Smells like Slovenian prenup ink.
What makes the roast truly land is its refusal to stretch the truth. There's no need to exaggerate, as her public persona already feels slightly unreal. The humor comes from calmly pointing out the obvious, allowing the audience to make the connections themselves. It's not shock humor, it's recognition. The laughter comes from understanding that her emotional neutrality is intentional, and in a world full of noise, her stillness becomes the most striking contrast.
Melania hasn't appeared at one of her husband's rallies in months, but she did come out of her shoe closet today to promote her book and to reveal that, unlike her husband, she is pro-choice.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth.
The humor sharpens as Kimmel focuses on how rarely she seems emotionally tied to the narratives built around her. Whether seen as a devoted partner or a reluctant participant, she neither confirms nor denies these roles. That ambiguity is framed as deliberate, as though she knows that mystery is a better shield than clarity. Meanwhile, Donald Trump reacts loudly to mild commentary, making her silence stand out even more.
Lots of people you can see had sunglasses on, not Trump. In fact, if you Google Trump wearing sunglasses, you get thousands of pictures of him not wearing sunglasses, except the only pictures of him wearing anything even like them are shots of him during the solar eclipse. The glasses he then famously took off so he could stare directly into the sun. Weird, but I mean, he golfs a lot. He's outside a lot. I wonder why he doesn't wear sunglasses, because it's Biden's thing, or did he?
As the bit continues, the edge intensifies, repeating the central observation. She rarely engages with the drama surrounding her. The labels float around: loyal spouse, reluctant participant, silent witness, but she never clings to any of them. Kimmel treats her silence as strategy, suggesting that staying undefined might be the most powerful move of all. Donald Trump's presence only reinforces the contrast. While he reacts loudly, she remains still, and that stillness strikes with surprising force.
My body, my choice really means.
You know what? That's a great question. Maybe ask the fat, sweaty manatee banging on your bedroom door with his little pink fists what it means. Because he seems to have a lot of thoughts on the subject. Melania's views on abortion are actually very progressive. She believes that women should be able to abort their stepchildren.
Once again, the humor sharpens from the same dynamic. She stands at the center of narratives about her, but never seems eager to edit them. Kimmel frames her ambiguity as a deliberate choice, knowing that unanswered questions are safer than clear statements. Donald Trump's bursts of noise only amplify the contrast. While he treats words like attacks, she treats them like passing weather, and that refusal to engage becomes its own powerful statement.
Right now is scrambling to clean up the mess they made in Minneapolis. Trump met last night in the Oval Office with Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and her top aide Corey Lewandowski. They met for 2 hours, although Trump was asleep for about 90 minutes of it, but 2 hours. Noem and Lewandowski are widely rumored to be romantically entangled. Anonymous White House officials say their relationship is the worst kept secret in D.C., other than any secret Pete Hegseth.
The roast lands because it never escalates or lectures. Instead, it trusts Melania's public image to carry the weight. Rather than tearing her down, the joke frames her exactly as she has presented herself. The humor shifts focus from her actions to what she represents, the idea that proximity to power doesn't always mean emotional participation in it. She's more than a former First Lady. She symbolizes emotional detachment in a world addicted to volume.
She claims that this is not a new position for her. She wrote, "I have carried this belief with me throughout my entire adult life." Guess if you're Melania and you want to contradict your husband, the safest place to do it is in a book where neither he nor any of his supporters will ever see it. This is quite a team he has around him. Trump's new sycophant, RFK Jr., I think we're starting to understand why they get along so well. First, we find out that he was trading.
Even her fashion becomes part of the narrative without veering into mockery. Each outfit appears meticulously chosen, not to radiate warmth, but to signal completion, as if the task is done the moment she steps into the room. The joke plays with the idea that she understands the assignment perfectly, yet feels no emotional stake in the evaluation. Watching her navigate public life feels like watching someone balance a glass in chaos, calm, deliberate, and untouched.
Melania also went into detail about her favorite moment as First Lady.
People always asking me, what was your favorite memory as First Lady? It was in 2020 when Donald get the China virus and he was airlifted to hospital like sick elephant. Barry and I threw party on back lawn. We danced around giant bonfire and shot fire cookers at Mike Pence. I had Link in the bedroom.
The bit also toys with the idea that she has mastered the art of ceremonial existence. She participates in events without appearing emotionally invested in their outcomes. While others rush around in chaos, she seems slightly outside of it all. This contradiction fuels the humor, because public figures are typically expected to perform sincerity. Kimmel doesn't mock her distance, he treats it as her defining feature, one that allows her to remain composed while the world spins around her.
She sat for the speech. She was there not just in her capacity as First Lady, but also as a representative for all the unsatisfied Slovenian women of the world. Rumpelstiltskin was all over the map today. He ranted about windmills, he bragged about ending 7 wars, he threatened the guy who operates the teleprompter, he complained about being screwed out of a deal to renovate the building they were in, the United Nations building. He said, you could have had marble, you got terrazzo, you could have had mahogany.
Donald Trump reappears, but not as the focal point, more like a faulty light that flickers in and out of view. His tendency to respond loudly to mild comments only amplifies the contrast. While he reacts as though under siege, she remains still. That stillness becomes more intentional, making her calm look even more deliberate. Kimmel never overstates it. He simply lets the difference speak for itself.
The friendly confines of Fox News today, trying to pretend that he's not pulling back in Minnesota, and for Bovino, this wasn't a demotion.
I don't think it's a pullback. It's a little bit of a change. Everybody in this room that has a business, you make little changes. Bovino's very good, but he's a pretty out there kind of a guy, and in some cases that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here. But you have to understand, when I watch some of the people that I've been watching over the last few weeks, these are paid insurrectionists.
By the time the satire winds down, her composure feels like a carefully arranged painting, balanced and untouched. She's present, but never entangled, visible, yet rarely vulnerable. The humor treats this as fascinating because it defies the expectation that public figures must constantly explain themselves. Donald Trump's occasional outbursts serve only as reminders of the noise she sidesteps. Her silence remains a form of resilience as she remains intact through scandals and outrage. The joke doesn't condemn this strategy, it presents it as an unconventional strength. The humor lingers, not because it shouted, but because it quietly pointed to something everyone had already noticed.